Hi everyone, this is our week 3 wrap up, which is coming at the beginning of week 4, so I could make sure that I caught any further questions or comments that you guys might have had over the weekend about week 3's topic, which was evidence and the rules of evidence, and hinting on some of the problems that might sometimes be faced when we try to get neuroscience evidence into court, especially when the evidence is not well established. You know, it's a different scenario when we're talking about very well established types of neuroscience evidence like static brain imaging, which shows lesions on the brain. That is run-of-the-mill, always gets into court, see it every day type of neuroscience evidence. But the trickier type of neuroscience evidence is the one that's based on speculative science, or the one that is based on large population studies, for example, where it's really hard to say that although on average, you know, people with these brain features might be like this or might be like that, the relevance to a particular question, a particular legal question like, yes, but is that how this person thinks and behaves? Is that what was going on for this person at the time? It can be difficult to show relevance on the one hand of a lot of this evidence, but then it can also be difficult to show that the opinion is from an accepted body of scientific research if it's very, very new. So my main task really today, I think, is to remind you all about the workshop which is coming up this Thursday and Friday. And we've got a really good lineup of speakers who will be coming to talk to you, including Miko Kumar, who wrote one of your readings. Miko is a lecturer here at the law school, but she's also a barrister and she's an expert on the law of evidence in particular. So make sure, for those lawyers among you who have had specific questions about evidence and neuroscience, and actually a couple of neuroscientists as well, make sure that you save up some of the questions that have arisen when you've done the readings, so you can put them to Miko, whose expertise in this is really second to none. We're also going to have Professor Max Bennett give an overview of neuroscience for the many non-neuroscientists in the audience. Max Bennett, he'll hate me for saying this, but is really a national treasure in the world of neuroscience research. He's one of Australia's leading lights, one of the founders of neuroscience research in Australia, and a founding director of the Brain and Mind Centre. So we're lucky to have Max come and give his overview and his perspective on the importance of neuroscience. Professor Chris Ryan will also be coming to talk about neuroscience and psychiatry. Professor Ryan is a consultation liaison psychiatrist at Westmead, as well as somebody who has an academic interest in neuroscience and law. So his perspective on neuroscience and mental illness and the ways that may or may not impact legal questions will be interesting indeed. We also have Professor Moran Irish, who will be coming from the Brain and Mind Centre to talk about dementia. Hayley Bennett, who is a barrister and neuroscientist at New Chambers and really is probably one of the most interesting experts on both using neuroscience in court and on neuroscience itself. So we're very lucky to have Hayley Bennett come and speak amongst others. So I've sent an announcement, but I'll also post up on the LMS the full program, including the speakers' bios, which are linked by hyperlink to their names in the program, and also the case studies. So we're going to look at a case study on day 2. We don't have heaps and heaps of time for reading, so it would be great if you'd have a look at the case study beforehand, spend some time going through it, and also a background case called Carrier and Bonham. You'll notice that there are some important factual similarities between Carrier and Bonham and the case study, but the type of evidence the case study uses is slightly different, and that's the sort of thing that we will be focusing on when we look at that case study. The quiz seems to be going well. There hasn't been a lot of chat on Facebook this week or on the discussion board about the study guide questions. Once again, I'm going to assume that's because you're just sort of feeling comfortable about it all. But I would really like to encourage you again to, if there's anything that kind of bothers you or anything you want to mention, bring that to the discussion board and, you know, give us all a chance really to weigh in and give our perspectives. But in any case, I look forward to meeting you all on Thursday and Friday, and I'll see you then. Take care.